I learned how to be a web developer in university, graduated, and had a baby, didn't go to work. So at about 35, while at that point I had 3 children and loved them all dearly, but felt very dissatisfied with life. And I had to take a look and sit myself down and be like, what's the disconnect here? I thought being a mother was gonna be this thing that was gonna fill me up, it was all I needed, that's what the world told me, it was gonna be wonderful. And I just felt like there's something else I needed to do. But I'd been shrinking myself and my dreams and not even looking at them in order to make space for others, for my husband, for my children, for the expectations of my parents. I was putting their preferences first, making sure they were most comfortable, and felt like I could just kind of keep my preferences down. And what you realize is if you do this, this is the fastest way to find yourself resentful and regretful. So, what would I tell myself? Take time to get to know yourself. You don't have to jump into marriage. Relationships are good and fine, but take that time to really know who you are. What are your passions? What is it that you're interested in? Who are you? I didn't even know at 22 when I got married who I was. I didn't even know what I liked. I hadn't even taken the time to think about it. Don't lose yourself in your role as daughter, wife, and mother. It's possible to have all of those roles and still make space for yourself, for your passions, your career aspirations, your interests. And each of these roles require a lot of sacrifice, but that doesn't mean that you need to sacrifice yourself in the process. You have to also remember to take care of yourself. And if you don't make space to fill yourself up, you're going to find that you can't pour into those around you. You'll really just burn out and you'll feel unhappy. So, what I found for me that's most helpful is physical and mental health, making sure that those things are 2 things that I keep as a top priority. For me, physical health, I used to run. Then I got a really bad spine injury last year. I don't run anymore. Now I swim laps. I know you all are from Africa, you can still learn to swim. I highly recommend it. It's a great exercise. It's very meditative. For me, it's been life-changing because I'm not connected to any electronics. It's just me in the water. And I actually can't even think much. I just have to remember to breathe and keep moving. And it's really changed my life in the last 6 months or so since I've been recovering from my surgery. Mental health also involves taking time. So I actually have a rest day just for myself where my son is still at school, and I take time to really just give myself some rest. That's something I prioritize in my life, and I'm fortunate enough because I run my own organization that I can do that. All right, one of the things I like to talk about is my cups. The cups I have to fill. In a single, looks like this is kind of cut off, but in a single week, we have 168 hours. So, how am I filling those cups? Let's see okay. So I've got 2 jobs. I run Light of Hope. I also run a counseling practice. I have mental health clients, mostly teenagers that I help with their mental health. I have 4 kids, 2 college students, 1 high school student, and a 5-year-old. But between those 2, I'm already at 80 hours. Now, I have a husband and I have an ex-husband. That takes up too much time. Don't recommend. My ex-husband, he's okay, but we have to do a lot of co-parenting. Let's see, friends and social life. I would love to have 8 hours with my friends. Doesn't always happen. Home care, another 40 hours. Got to take care of the house. Got to clean. Got to cook. Got to go shopping. Self-care, sleeping. That takes up time too. 56 hours. Okay, I don't know if you guys are doing math here. Where's my math people? I'm already at 184 hours. I don't have all that much time. So you have to prioritize. I can't do all of this all at once. I have a daughter, my teenage daughter, she's 17. She's autistic. She's had a lot of mental health challenges. She's had a drug addiction. She's taken a lot of time. For a year, that's what I really had to focus on for her. Now she tells me, you never have enough time for me. When I'm with my dad, he always has more time for me. And I'm like, well, your dad doesn't cook. Your dad doesn't clean. Your dad doesn't have other kids that he's taking care of. Your dad has just 1 job. So you have to prioritize. So she just has to understand I have time for her, but I have so much more to take care of. And the self-care. If I don't take care of that one, it's at the bottom, but it's the most important. I can't do the rest. You can ask my kids or my husband. I become a crazy person if I don't take care of myself. So really encourage you to do that. So number 2, when you find your path, it'll be worth the struggle. Okay? So it's okay to take a risk and try something new. If it doesn't work out, there's always opportunities to try another path. I've done several paths in my lifetime. Like I said, I started out thinking I was going to do computer science, be a web developer. Then I thought I was going to be a mother. Then I thought I was going to be a caterer. I went to culinary school. I actually am a certified chef. Most of you don't know that. I'm a pretty good cook. Feel free to come to my house sometime. I'll cook for you. I didn't like that job very much. It had its own challenges. The clients were not very nice. The hours weren't very long when they had 3 kids, so that one didn't work out for me. I've tried several paths. I just wanted to lay out for you what my life has looked like. Let me come over here so I can see a little better. So my first stage was early adulthood, living for others, filling up traditional gender roles, not really thinking about myself. Next was my early career path. I had a lot of challenges there because, like I said, with my business degree, I chose to have kids. I wasn't able to do that one. Also, there was some political stuff that happened. Our economy tanked. There was no jobs. Then I tried to be the personal chef. Those challenges I shared with you. Then I tried working at a church. I was a church administrator running their outreach to help the poor. That's what got me interested in Light of Hope in the first place. The challenges I faced there was mostly issues of church patriarchy. I was continually sent to the role of subservient to the male leaders in the church, was not given the opportunity to lead things in the way I wanted to lead. I knew I had a lot of potential, a lot of ideas, and nobody wanted to put them in place because they just wanted me to be in a support position. So that one wasn't working out for me. Then I found my passion for Kenya. And that was what really kept me going because I started to know myself. I started to know that I was doing Kenya for me. I was doing work in Kenya for me because this is what I loved. This is where I wanted to be. And I had to face a lot of challenges for that. There was a lot of people that were saying a woman shouldn't be traveling to Africa by herself. She should be home with her kids. And those people were my parents, my siblings, my best friends, my husband at the time, now my ex-husband. And I just had to keep persevering, but the challenges were there. Just because I found my passion didn't mean challenges were going to go away. Then was doing that, and what happened? COVID happened. We were just starting to get the organization up and going. Global pandemic. Most of our donors dropped out. Deanna and I were looking at how we're going to keep the organization going. So I was like, oh, I better pivot. I'm going to go get my master's. Went back to school, got my master's degree in mental health counseling, and I was like, okay, I don't have to pull a salary from Light of Hope. I'm gonna run Light of Hope for free. I'm gonna start a counseling practice. I can do that on the side. I can make my own hours. I can find clients. I can counsel. Part of the time, run Light of Hope the best I can, and the other part of the time, and make my money that way. By the way, there was a divorce in there, so I had to figure out how to live on my own. My husband had previously been handling all the finances. I had to learn how to financially support myself, how to get financing for a house, how to pay all the bills myself. And I also had a baby with my current husband. So I was actually holding my book. Maybe I've told you all this story, but I was holding my book for my final exam for one of my classes while in labor and delivery, studying. So it was a lot of challenges. But then this wonderful thing came in, we found a new funder, and things just really started to blossom. And I've really come into my own, and because of my passion, and because I knew myself, and knew that this work was the work that I wanted to do. I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to help other women. It was everything I wanted to do, so I persevered through all of those challenges. And now I would say I'm in this green section here, the career and development section. So learning from my mistakes, right? We all make mistakes. I used to, when I was younger, feel bad about it, feel insecure about it. Now I know it's just an opportunity to grow. Listening to others, taking in people's opinions, being open, not just thinking that I'm right about everything, but also trusting my intuition. When I know I'm right, I'm gonna stick to it. I can be pretty darn stubborn. Let's see. I used to believe that I would only be loved if I was making other people happy. I've now realized that I can be who I am, I can follow my dreams, and why is it that every microphone in Kenya always goes out? Yeah, even if they don't like what I'm doing, even if they don't agree with what I'm doing, I'm a loving person, I'm a smart person, I'm allowed to take up space, they'll adjust, it's okay. All right, oops, this one. So I'm hoping that I'm starting to enter this last phase here in 2025, self-flourishing. So just living in alignment with what's important to me, continuing to grow, continuing to learn more, continue to experience more wisdom. And I think my mom, who's turning 74, would laugh to think that I think I'm wise at 45, but it's all perspective to looking back on your past self and knowing how much you've learned to the point that you've reached. So, number 3, make sure you hold yourself accountable to your own values and beliefs. Don't shift to please other people or be accepted, because you will never feel satisfied outside your personal integrity. Personal integrity is just being in alignment with what you feel is important, okay? So in my first marriage, I was playing a supportive role. I wasn't following my own talents, despite having the same skill set as my husband. I let him take the lead. At the church, I was also shifting my own values to fit in a box. I'm a feminist, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a hardcore feminist. My sons would tell you that sometimes it bothers them, but that didn't fit well in the church environment. People didn't really like that. So that didn't work well for me. Over time, I was taken advantage of. I gave up my power to men, most of whom were well-intended, the men, but they ended up locking me into that role that served their needs rather than mine. And so now that I know what's important to me, helping others, being in a leadership role, having creativity in my life and a career, having freedom to move and travel, an equitable partnership. My husband now, he's Kenyan, and he's very open to being in an equitable relationship. He helps with the kids, he helps around the house, we both work, we share everything, it's great. And then setting boundaries with other people. So not letting people push me around, not letting people tell me what to do. That's really important, and it means I'm satisfied in my day-to-day life and I'm more confident than I've ever been. So, number 4, you're stronger than you think you are. You're gonna do amazing things in this world if you believe in your strength and your ability to overcome challenges. Right when I have felt in the past like giving up is often when I'm about to push through into a new life stage. So don't get discouraged by those challenges. Becky is a great example of that. You could have given up, you could have felt discouraged, but here you are. And even, you're gonna make me cry, don't. She's even got further to go. I'm really proud of you. Allow yourself to trust others, because we need each other, but make sure you set strong boundaries. No one likes a boundary, especially not a boundary that stops them from getting what they want out of a woman. Maybe that's sexually, financially, relationally, through caretaking. Know your boundaries. Know what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do, and stick by that. It's okay to say no. All right? It's okay to say no, for real. You don't have to do what somebody else is wanting you to do if it doesn't fit in alignment with your values and your dreams and your hopes. Let's see. You can put those boundaries in place, protect yourself, make space for others. Also have time for your own self-care. I'm just bringing that one up again because it's really important. I just want to continue to reiterate it. Find what fills you up, find what helps you in life, and make space for it in your day. Have and actualize your own hopes and dreams. Let's see. Yeah. Go after your passions, maybe they're professional or personal, but use that time you have on the earth to create the life that you want. Be the lead character in your life. Don't be a supporting character. This one's important. Protect your financial assets. You know, as women, we don't really talk sometimes about money, how to manage it. It's not maybe a topic that we feel we can understand, but that's an important one. And maybe that means you're gonna not share a bank account with your partner. You're not gonna let your partner have influence on your business that you're running. Maybe you're not gonna, you might even make you women are doing a lot here. You have a lot that you are developing, okay? Maybe you're gonna have your partner sign a prenuptial agreement before you get married, protecting your assets that you've built before you got married. It's not an easy conversation, doesn't go well, but protect yourself because you have to look out for yourself, and often we also have to look out for our kids, okay? Have a backup plan. This has been a big coping skill for me through this whole journey of trying to understand myself and live for myself. It's really scary to take risks. It's really scary to believe in yourself. It's really scary to do something hard, to start a business, to take that job. And especially when you put everything on the line, you know, you're like, so, you know, I'm running an organization now. I have 30 employees, almost 30 employees that I have to provide a salary to every month. I've got, 265 individual students that were in high school and university that I want to make sure you all get to keep going to school and have these opportunities. We have 85,000 kids almost that we're feeding Kajiado that need food, they need to eat. That's a huge responsibility. It can feel incredibly scary. It can feel incredibly intimidating. Sometimes I find myself curling up in a ball at night like, oh my God, how can I do it? What if something happens? What if our funding dries up? I mean, USAID just completely went overnight, pulled out of Kenya, pulled out around the whole world. What if something like that happens? What will I do? I start to freak out. I'm not kidding you guys, I really start to freak out. But what keeps me able to get up and keep trying and not give up is I have a mental backup plan at all times. Okay, worst case scenario happens. Light of hope collapses. What am I gonna do next? What can I feel comfortable in myself that my next step of my life is gonna look like? And how can I trust that it's gonna be okay? So I can't tell you all what your backup plan would look like. You know, for me, it's changed over the years. It used to be like, okay, I'm gonna go work for USAID. Oops, that backup plan can't be there anymore. Well, maybe I'll work for the UN, maybe I'll go work for another foundation. That's been one. One time it was, I'm just gonna start a business. You know, at times it's been, I'm just gonna get a farm in Kenya and live off the land. What happens helps me get up in the morning and keep trying and keep doing the thing that I really love until the day that God or anybody else tells me that my time is done with this stage. And I hope that time is when I'm passing the baton to somebody else to run the organization. That's my hope. So, be okay with what you've accomplished. Don't expect to be further than you are. You're young. You still have a long way to go. When I was your age, I was doing nothing like I'm doing now. So just know that you always have more opportunities. You can keep moving in life, even if things don't work out how you originally thought. Have your backup plan. Take care of yourself. And remember that failure can lead to something you've never expected. I listed a lot of things that I failed at, didn't continue with, and here I am doing the most beautiful thing I've ever done in my life, which is leading Light of Hope. So, thank you.